My 90-day challenge ended up being 1,500 days. I've tried to keep this challenge going. I've gotten to 90 days, I've gotten to 100 days, and then I just missed a day, and I'm devastated. Back to zero, gotta start from the beginning. 90 days is 3 months, so I have to build up another 3 months. Life crushing. I started this challenge on August 30th, 2017. Why that date? I don't know. It just ended up happening that way. For those that don't know, the Apple Watch has 3 goals. There's the stand, the exercise, and the move. I'm focusing on the last one, the move goal. And there's a little badge that shows up here when you hit your daily move goal, and then it counts up every single time you get there. Just to be clear, we're not talking about 3 months, we're not talking 6, not a year, we're talking 4.1 years. I can't believe it's been 4 years that I've been keeping this going. The strategy with the move goal is that you want to set a target that keeps you active, but that it's not unattainable. So you want to set a target that keeps you active every single day. There are certain days when you're doing moderate working out, you're doing intense workouts. Those are the easy days to hit it, right? But it's on those rest days, those days where it's active rest, or you're flying somewhere, you're sick, or life gets in the way, and you want a target that's going to keep you going. I started my goal at 400 calories, and I've left it there ever since. We'll go into the metrics. How many calories I've actually burned, the daily average. It was interesting to see. I've always worked remotely. I travel a decent amount. So sometimes in the winter, you don't want to leave. There's snow and ice. You don't have to. Everything's in your apartment. Or when you're traveling, you're going on 2 flights. There's a short layover, talking 10, 15 hours of flying. You don't want to walk around the airport. This forces you to do that. I started the activity end of August, and I remember February 2018. I had to fly to Chicago. It was freezing cold out, tons of meetings. I remember one night it was super late, and I ended up just running around the stairs, going up and down the hotel stairs. And that's how I ended up hitting my move goal. And I remember that was a really tough week for me, just because I was exhausted. It's the last thing I wanted to do, but I pushed through and kept it going. I've been sick a few times. It hasn't been too life-crushing, but I've done it. I actually did it on my birthday. I had a surgery in December 2019. It was for my deviated septum. The tissue's really thin, and therefore you don't want to pop the blood vessels or anything like that. So there was no strenuous exercise for 3 weeks minimum, and then I could ease into it. I would say that was a pretty tough time because, right after surgery, you really don't want to do anything, but I could go for some walks. I could feel it throbbing, even on just like gentle walks. So now we're gonna get into some details. In summary, I've done a total active calories of 1,165,180. That works out to an equivalent of 777 calories a day. So I guess I could set it higher, but that's an average. That's not the highs and the lows. In total, exercise hours, 1,797, which works out to being 1.2 hours a day. The daily steps works out to 9,742 steps a day, which is about 4.87 miles of walking. I spend most of my time living in an urban environment, so lots of walking. I do a lot of climbing. I mean, a lot of climbing. I've been a climber my whole life. If you want to see some videos, they'll either be in the description, or you can just check out my channel and see some of the adventures I've been on. That is my main source of exercise. I ended up doing 487 workouts in the past 1,500 days, which is about 3 times a week. The climbing gym used to be 45 minutes away. Then they opened up a flagship. It made it really easy. I could go, instead of 1 time a week, to 3 times a week. I do remember it was October 2017, and there was a Run the Runway, and it was a fundraising event at Newark Airport. You could run on a runway. It was really cool. Except you ran back and forth on the same trail so you could see exactly where you're going. It's kind of a pain in the butt because then you realize, holy shoot, I know how far I have to still run. Anyways, I ended up placing first for my age group, which was awesome. I trained for a month or so, and I had I think it was a 6.5 minute average. I'm not gonna complain about it. I already talked about February 2018 in Chicago. I kind of feel like that was the turning point when it suddenly became a habit that stuck, because every time thereafter, in the morning I would check to see where I was by noon, by 4, and then it just started becoming ingrained in my daily goals, and I constantly am looking to make sure that I'm hitting that goal, right? Because I just want to keep the daily move goal going. That's not a tongue twister. March 2020, COVID happened, ended up escaping to Virginia Beach. Everything was closed, but down there, it's a surf town, it's a beach town, so there's a lot more things that were open, more outdoorsy. I ended up bringing my resistance bands down. I built a TRX sling setup with my climbing gear, using cordelette and whatnot, carabiners, to make it work. There was an app that I used called Fitify, and I used it for my resistance bands and I used it for the TRX. Love that app. It was free and good workouts. And then I used Tension, the blocks. They're like hangboards, individual hangboards for each hand. I did a video on that too. May 26th, I hit my 1,000th daily move goal. And I thought there would be some climactic badge. I thought that there would be some sort of celebration, because when you hit 1,000 move goals, it doesn't have to be daily, you get a badge. But for hitting 1,000 daily move goals, there's nothing. I got this message. Can't say I was too thrilled about it, but it's not for getting a badge, it's for me. In December 2020 is when Apple Fitness Plus started. Gave it a shot. I ended up doing the HIIT workouts, which I thought I'd hate because it's just very intense. I tend to overexert myself, so I think that's something I want to do better, but I really do find that those are really helping me build up my VO2 max again, basically my endurance. And then the yoga, I thought that was going to be silly and I'll do it once and forget about it. I ended up really loving it. There's some great workouts in there, and I've gotten some great flexibility, and then I find out it just really helps me relax, reset. I'll probably keep it going. Getting the daily move goal badge wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. There was a bunch of times when I'd be running super late at night just to make sure I hit the goal. Not a great thing to do before bed. I feel like I'm burdened by this badge, and I don't have the ability to say no to it. I just don't know how. I could stop today, but I don't want to. But when do I stop? I'm gonna have to stop eventually, right? So what does the future hold? I'm definitely gonna try and keep this going. I'm gonna do more HIIT to get my cardio where I need it to be. I'm gonna do more yoga because I found that really to be helpful. Definitely want to drink more water. I think that's something that I've been working on. Last year I wanted to get my 12 monthly challenge badges. Every month there's a different activity. I missed November. This year I'm on track. Hopefully I can hit all 12. I don't know if I missed anything. I think that's a good recap of the 1,500. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'd love to know what kind of challenges you're working on, how they're going for you. Thanks for watching.